Shortly after Donald Trump's hush money trial adjourned today in Manhattan, a significant development emerged in another one of his criminal cases, the classified documents trial down in Florida. Today, the judge overseeing that case, Judge Aileen Cannon, postponed that trial's start date indefinitely. It was originally set to begin in less than 2 weeks on May 20th, but now it is unlikely to happen before the 2024 election. Joining me now is former acting U.S. Solicitor General Neal Katyal. Neal, thank you for being here. I'm so eager to get your expert assessment about the reasoning behind Judge Cannon's decision. She cites substantive pretrial motions that need to be dealt with and critical classified documents issues. Are you buying it?
I'm not, Alex. And, you know, this is a very unfortunate decision today because I think we've lost any hope of seeing this trial take place before November. And this is a trial with very serious allegations. Before I was in the Solicitor General's office, I was National Security Advisor at the Justice Department. And I can tell you, Alex, that anyone who did this kind of stuff that Trump's accused of would lose their job immediately, go straight to trial, and go straight to jail. And I'm not going to characterize the motivations of this judge, but this decision and the handling of this case, start to finish, have been atrocious. And the judge here really tossed overboard our right, the right of the public, the right to a speedy trial. And, you know, she says there's complex pretrial motions. This is not a hard case. It does not require the amount of delay that we've had. The case is pretty simple. It's, Alex, a guy stole some documents. He hid them. When the government came and looked for them, he lied about it and hid them again. So, you know, that's it. It's not rocket science, and yet this judge has slow-walked this thing to death.
It seems quite obvious that she appears to be slow-walking it or delaying it. What are Jack Smith's options here for trying to get a new judge assigned to this case?
Yeah, I don't think that there are many options. I think that Judge Cannon is now going to have the case. The Justice Department, and I was faced with these requests a lot at the times, prosecutors around the country would say, authorize us to move and switch judges and, you know, try and seek the disqualification of a judge. And you almost never do it because the Justice Department's long-term litigating interest is to not, you know, cast aspersions at any particular judge or say we can't try this case in front of one. And also here, there's an appeal standard. You'd have to do something called a mandamus, which is a really high standard under the law. It's just not going to work. And so I don't see an appeal here, despite the fact that this is so atrocious. I mean, just by way of contrast, Alex, the Samuel Bankman-Fried trial for cryptocurrency, you know, that guy was indicted in December of 2022, convicted November of 23, 11 months start to finish. Here, Trump was indicted last June, and we don't even have a trial date. And the cryptocurrency case, enormously more complicated than this thing. So, you know, something ill afoot is going on here, but unfortunately, I don't see Jack Smith as having a remedy. The one thing I will say that's a positive is that if the Supreme Court allows Jack Smith's other trial for Trump in January 6th to go forward, Judge Cannon's decision today has now cleared the docket for Trump. He's obviously got his hush money case going on right now in New York, but that'll be over in a month or so. And then the coast is clear for Donald Trump to be tried for the crimes that he's alleged to have committed on January 6th.
Are you optimistic about that timeline in terms of the January 6th federal trial?
I still think it's possible. I know that after the Supreme Court oral argument, many observers said it's going to be tough, but I do think it is very possible, and Judge Cannon's decision today makes it more possible. And I do think, again, in both of these cases, Alex, whether it's January 6th or Trump's stealing of these documents, the American public have a right to know, have a right to see this. This is one of the most major decisions we make as people, which is who our next president is going to be. Here you've got a person who a grand jury, not just some prosecutors, but a grand jury of Trump's peers have said it is probable cause, meaning it's more likely than not that Trump committed these crimes. And yet this judge has made a decision that's going to hide that from the American people before we vote. And I sure hope the Supreme Court doesn't allow that same kind of conduct when it comes to the January 6th trial.
John Roberts, a nation turns its lonely eyes to you. Neal Katyal, always sounding a bit of a note of hope in the darkness. Thank you, my friend, for your wisdom tonight.